it's, go or don't go on with a win, so it matters a whole lot more, but you got to work on yourself.
Well, that's true. I think more than anything else, you need to pay attention to yourself in the playoffs. You need to make sure that you're playing well and you're doing the things that you have to do to win games, and that you're playing at the top of your game. And I've been pretty happy with how we've been playing. I wish we played earlier than this, because I don't like to have a week off, but we're ready to play, and I'm happy with how we're playing.
How much better does this team have to get, or can it get a whole lot better before you get to March 14th, if you can get there?
Well, sure, the team can get better because with more games, with more competition, with more playoff-style games, you keep getting better and better and better, and so if you can keep winning in the playoffs, then you're going to be battle-tested, so to speak. You're going to be honed. You're going to be ready to go.
Does that concern you that you have not been battle-tested this season?
No, because we've been tested at times, and teams have played very well against us at various times, and various teams have done a good job, and we've been tested at certain times. True, we haven't been beaten, but that doesn't mean we haven't been tested and forced to play well by just about every team we've played.
You play just about every style of basketball because people have thrown everything they can think of at you.
No, that's true too. That's one of the things to our advantage. We've played real fast, real slow, and in between, and so we're pretty confident that whatever thing we play against, we've seen it before, and we're ready to go against it.
Final question. You knew coming into this season you had a special group of kids. It is a trek that you want to go through the playoffs and end up where you ended up last year. How do you sum up those feelings inside yourself going into tonight's contest?
Well, they're just real special human beings. I mean, they're quality kids in the classroom. They're quality kids off the court. They're fun to be around. They're fun to spend time with. On top of that, you add good athletes and good basketball skills, and they're just, it's just very fortunate for us as coaches to be in this situation, to be working with these kids at this time. And you certainly don't want them to let down. You don't want to let them let down. And so you're on them kind of tough, and you're trying to make sure they pay attention to the task at hand. And the most important thing right now is to play well against this Burlington team, have a good game tonight, and then go on from there.
Head coach Mac Fraser, thanks for joining us on the pregame, and good luck against the Tigers tonight here in Mount Vernon.
Thank you very much.
So there's what one head coach has to say about tonight's contest. Mac Fraser, the Mount Vernon Bulldogs, who are 20-0 after going 16-0 in the Northwest League. They are the 1992 Northwest League champions. Burlington Edison qualified as the 5th team out of the Northwest League to make this district tournament. And head coach Darcy Weisner will talk about that and tonight's contest with the Bulldogs when we come back right after this.
It's in Mount Vernon, but it isn't home anymore. You bring your Tigers in here as the opponent tonight. And first of all, congratulations on being here. It's a good thing for your team to make it to this point, and now you face a very good basketball team.
Yeah, we've been kind of gearing up for this day for the last 5 years. We've went into the job with the idea that it was going to be difficult at first, and now we're starting to see some of the rewards of a lot of time and effort and patience. And tonight's team, I wish was somebody else, but they're not, and it's the best team in the state. And what we've got to do is we've got to play our game and our game plan and do the best job we can and hope things come out all right.
You wish it was somebody else to play, and so do they, if you look at it from the other side of the coin, and you can understand the fact that one team that beat somebody else twice doesn't want to face another team again.
Yeah, I don't care how you cut it. Anytime you see somebody 3 times in a season, at least this early in a tournament, it plays some psychological things on you. You'd like to get somebody fresh. You'd like to get somebody new, maybe a Westco team, but it didn't work out that way, and we're really happy that we're here. And I know Mount Vernon is going to be real focused and directed, but I think tonight's going to be a real good battle.
Pressure's on them and not on you. Does that maybe help you tonight?
I think so. I think that, with the undefeated record they have and the expectations they've gotten and all the ink in the press, we're coming in with the idea we've got really nothing to lose, and that's kind of the way we're approaching this game. The kids are loose, they're confident, and they feel good, so I think that plays to our advantage.
But then you have to watch out and just can't go out there and be happy for being here. You have to go out there with the effort and know, especially early. You know, I talked about that earlier, that the fact that in both of your earlier contests between the two, they got off to good starts against you.
Yeah, you know, at one point you're happy that you made it to the postseason, but then again it's 0-0. Everybody starts with a clean record right now, and I think what we've got to do is we're going to go out there and be focused and directed and execute our game plan, and we cannot allow them to jump on us early. And if we can take care of the basketball, I think that we can eliminate maybe the spurt they want to get and have gotten in the past. I think if we can do that and maintain our composure, you know, we should be in the game for 4 quarters.
Containment a good word for you tonight as far as playing Mount Vernon?
Yeah, I think so. You know, you could call it taking in the air out of the ball if you want. You can call it whatever you want. I think we're going to get the kind of shots we want to take, and we're going to take the kind of time it's going to take those.
Final thoughts on where you're at now. You're going to get 2 games in this tournament regardless of what happens tonight, so you know that it's not all ending this evening if things don't go well, but you get a good shot and get into postseason play. Yeah, we're real fortunate the way the district's set up. It's double elimination, and either team that comes out of this game with a loss tonight has got another chance, and that's really all you hope for when you go into a tournament. And you know, we're not going to bury our heads under the sand if it doesn't come out on top for us tonight. We're going to get back to work and play down at Marysville Tuesday or Friday night. Head coach Darcy Weisner, thanks for joining us, and good luck against the Mount Vernon Bulldogs tonight.
Thank you very much.
So there's 2 coaches and their views on this contest here this evening. Head coach Darcy Weisner, a 1977 graduate of Mount Vernon High School, and now a head coach at Burlington Edison, where he has been for 5 seasons. And he has the Tigers in the playoffs for the first time in his tenure. The tip-off is coming up next between Burlington Edison and Mount Vernon. When we come back to Mount Vernon High School right after this.
It's finally
here amongst the crowd packed in high in the rafters this evening, and it's nice to see a great turnout between Burlington Edison and Mount Vernon in this playoff game.
Yeah, I really like this, Scott. In the crowd, and you feel it. You feel the excitement of high school basketball. There's nothing like a good game of high school basketball, and this should be a good one tonight. I'm excited about the start of a district. And you keep winning, you just keep right on going. In this particular case of district, the nice part is you got 2 losses. So this doesn't end it for either team tonight. I'm looking forward to a good game.
And it takes a little bit of the pressure off. The pressure is still on, though. The Mount Vernon Bulldogs, with all of the anticipation, expectations, and a 20-0 season. Mount Vernon playing at home here tonight sees it all, while Burlington Edison happy to be here and ready to roll on. If they can get any kind of momentum building early in this contest, they'll try and stay with a very high-powered Mount Vernon Bulldog squad. Starting lineups first for the visiting Tigers, who come in at 9-12 on the season. They are 7-9 in the Northwest League this season. Of course, their 9th win coming Saturday night over Bainbridge Island, 80-54, to qualify for this district playoff game. They will start at point guard, 5'9" junior John Best, who averages 4 points and 5 assists per contest. The 2 wing players in the Tiger offense, Matt Linnell, a 6'1" senior, and 6'3" junior Keith Wilson. The post players inside for Burlington Edison, 6'4" senior Jared Barrow, who has had at times to carry the Tigers on his back, and he is joined down low by 6'5" junior Brett Johnson, averaging 16 points per game. Johnson, the leading scorer for the Tigers, and Fred, in both contests against Mount Vernon, Johnson was the leading scorer for Burlington Edison. He had 19 in the last game these 2 played on February 4th.
Well, that's really true. A lot of those points came in the last part of the ball game. Jared Barrow, I think, is the key to this team right here. If he comes out, plays hard, he's a competitor, and it catches on with the rest of these kids. He's the senior out there. He's the leader, I think.
And now the starting lineup here being announced for the Mount Vernon Bulldogs, and you got to say that about 2/3 of this crowd here tonight are Mount Vernon fans, and they are on their feet cheering for the hometown Bulldogs. Starting at point guard, 5'8" senior Dave Garcia, in his 2nd year starting for Mount Vernon. He'll be joined in the backcourt by 6' junior Ryan Keys. The 2 forwards for Mount Vernon, 6'2" senior Troy Holmes and 6'5" senior Bill Cornelius, a 3-year starter for Mount Vernon. And the big man in the middle, of course, is the man that gets all of the notoriety for these Bulldogs. And, of course, the good reason why he's heading off to Washington State to play some collegiate basketball after this high school career is over. 6'9" senior Mark Hendrickson, 19.5 points per game, 11 rebounds. Mark Hendrickson, wearing number 30, leads the Bulldogs in the scoring and the rebounding departments, and he brings the squad out to center court to join a hand lineups. Now time for the national turnout, as I mentioned a moment ago, of both adults and the kids getting out here to support these teams.
Yeah, you bet there always will be with these two schools. They're good communities, and they really support their athletics. I'll tell you, this should be an interesting matchup with Garcia and Best, which it was in the last game. Matt Linnell been hot for Burlington and stepped up. Let's see how he does. And Bill Cornelius playing very well for Mount Vernon. Those two players also keys tonight.
Dan Bartolovic is standing by in Cedar Woolley where the Cubs are hosting Lake Stevens tonight. We will go to him in just a few moments to see how that contest is going once they get underway in Cub country. But we are underway here in Bulldog City as Mount Vernon gets the opening tap. Dave Garcia with the basketball in the front court, right wing to Ryan Keys. Looking for the lob inside, can't find it. Now the loft down into the corner to Cornelius. Back out to Ryan Keys from the wing. The three-pointer is up and good for Ryan Keys.
Well, Ryan Keys is just a fine basketball player and a nice shot from the perimeter, and he showed that right off.
Bulldogs passed it around the perimeter and found Keys open. Now the Tigers under some full-court pressure get it across the half-court stripe into the hands of Keith Wilson. He gives it back to John Best, standing near the right sideline. Now to mid-court to Matt Linnell. Linnell guarded out there by Troy Holmes. Tigers swinging through, extending this offense, playing their entire half of the floor. Person with the basketball is Brett Johnson, standing about 2 feet from the midcourt stripe. Now gives it off to Wilson. Wilson dribbles to the top of the key, then comes back to Verrill. Head coach Darcy Weisner said containment was the key word for the Tigers, and that meant contain Mount Vernon's game. Don't let them do anything they want to do. Try and keep it yourself. So the Tigers now commit a turnover as Brett Johnson was trying to throw it in the backcourt to a teammate, and the Bulldog got in his way. Johnson threw a bad pass, goes out of bounds. Mount Vernon basketball.
Well, that can backfire on you, that control type offense. You got to have the kids to execute that.
Bulldog with the ball is Dave Garcia at the top of the key. Comes left side, perimeter shot from 3 for Troy Holmes.
Well, all these guys can shoot the tray, and actually right now Burlington is packing their defense down, sagging to stop the inside game, and Mount Vernon comes out hot.
You have to think that Burlington thinks that the best way to beat Mount Vernon is to make them beat you from the outside. They have to shoot to beat you, and Mount Vernon did do that in the last contest, scoring 91 points, their season high in that February 4th win, 91-64 over the Tigers. Now cutting through, John Best gets a nice lob pass from Keith Wilson, and he cuts back on a backdoor pass from Wilson to John Best. Scores the first Tiger points of the night. It's 6-2.
That offense worked really well. They were looking backdoor all the time. They found a cutter, got the ball to him, a nice little layup.
Bulldogs looking to get it to Hendrickson inside. Instead, Keys will shoot the 3 outside, missed it. Rebound to the foul line to Garcia. Pops it back to the wing to Keys on the left side. Drives to the key, down the middle of the key. Ryan Keys goes, and a blocking foul will be called against a Tiger underneath. Whistled, I believe, on Jared Verrill. We call. No, it's going to be with the personal foul for Burlington Edison. I'm not quite sure. It looked like the official, Mike Sender, said 31, but they're going to say 32 it is, and it is Brett Johnson who picks up the personal foul as Verrill got run over by Ryan Keys coming down the center. Keys will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Well, Ryan Keys makes the first one of the 2. Mark Hendrickson standing all alone in the paint next to him. I'm sure Ryan Keys, the coach said maybe you might want to pass it to the 6'9" guy the next time, but he converts on the 2 foul shots.
8-2 Bulldogs. Ryan Keys with 5 points so far in the contest. Just underway from Mount Vernon High School, Burlington Edison, and Mount Vernon. Northwest AA District boys basketball on KAPS. Tigers extending their offense again. Here midcourt is Linnell to the foul line to Wilson. Backs in, then pops the pass out on top again to Linnell. Left side to Johnson. Tigers looking for a player cutting through or coming backside. Right now, they just have it in the hands of John Best near midcourt. Over to Linnell. Linnell has the ball knocked away from behind momentarily. He gains it. Now has a pass right knocked back into his face. Finally gets it away to Verrill. Now Dave Garcia gets another hand on it and knocks it out of bounds. Dave Garcia will get a nice hand from the crowd as he was all over the floor blocking Tiger passes.
Well, Dave Garcia is so quick and has tenacious defense, and him and Best are going to have quite a night out there. They'll know each other really well. And there again, Ryan Keys intercepts a pass and knocks it out of bounds.
So the Tigers will just simply inbound again in front of the Bulldog bench, right sideline. Verrill into the backcourt, or excuse me, into the forecourt now to John Best. Now to Linnell, back over to Verrill. Still extended near the sideline out near midcourt. To Johnson at the center of the floor. Johnson standing there guarded by Cornelius. Going to get a 5-second violation if he doesn't move. Finally does move a bit, gives it off to Verrill. Steps up, now goes down into the right corner to Best. Best dribbles up, back to Linnell. Bulldogs playing excellent defense against this Tiger spread offense. 8-2 Mount Vernon. 4:49 to go first quarter from Mount Vernon High School. We'll check in momentarily with Dan Bartolovic in Cedar Woolley.
All Burlington doing is running a wide stack on each side of the floor, and they just go as far as foul line extended, bring the ball back out. Just have to watch for them sneaking back door Mount Vernon, because they'll go back door with the ball.
Barrow comes down to the side of the key, then pops it outside to Matt Linnell for three for Burlington Edison. Matt Linnell.
Well, Matt Linnell has picked up some real confidence in the last 3 or 4 games, and he's real comfortable with that three-point shot.
Dave Garcia to shoot his own three. Missed it from the top of the key, and now the Tigers get their first rebound of the night. Keith Wilson pulling down the rebound there, and Burlington Edison comes away, stopping Mount Vernon. That possession and a chance to tie with a three-pointer again for the Tigers. It's 8-5, midway mark of the first quarter of play. We knew the Tigers were going to slow it down, and they've been successful to that end so far. Now their defense has to come up and play the game that they have to have tonight to stop Mount Vernon. Tigers with the basketball. Jared Verrill near midcourt again. Dribbles to his right, gives it to John Best. Best comes out. Garcia all over him defensively. Now forces a bad pass. Best throws it away. He was looking at Jared Verrill, and Verrill was gone from the scene. Pass goes right into the hands of Bulldog head coach Matt Fraser on the Mount Vernon bench.
There again, there's so many passes that you have to make, and you have to make really good passes. You're going to make some mistakes in that offense, but they are closer in the ball game, see? So it's working for them.
Out front, Dave Garcia all alone. The Tigers not even guarding him. He steps up, fires a 17-footer short off the front of the rim. They're going to let Garcia shoot. No one was within 5 feet of Dave Garcia. He missed the shot. Burlington Edison rebound. Across midcourt, Keith Wilson. Basketball dribbling around. Now left side pass comes over to Brett Johnson. Cross courts it, still in the forecourt, out near the half-court stripe with the basketball. Now the Tigers come down the right sideline a bit, go out to John Best, and Garcia slacks off on the defense now, not quite as aggressive as it has been, maybe getting a little tired here. Still have yet to see a substitution from either team. 2:53 to go first quarter, 8-5 Bulldogs. Near midcourt, Best. Now just cross-court pats it to Johnson, over to Verrill, still out near the half-court stripe. Best now cutting through, lows to Wilson. Ryan Keys steps in front of it, makes a steal. Bulldogs on the run. Ryan Keys across midcourt, pulls up, throws it to the right wing. Bill Cornelius for three.
Well, that's 3 threes for Mount Vernon right now, and they didn't waste any time. They're not shy of shooting the basketball. Right now, Torrey Swanson waiting to come in, I'm sure, for our point guard, Dave Garcia.
And Donnie Keltz also set to check in for the Bulldogs as the two Mount Vernon green and white jerseys come down to the center of the court in the scorer's table. Tigers motion through, spread offense. Best with the basketball, over to Johnson. Brett Johnson, Jared Verrill, John Best, Keith Wilson, and Matt Linnell, the starting 5 on the floor for the Tigers, along with the starting 5 of Mount Vernon. Holmes, Hendrickson, Keys, Garcia, and Cornelius. Linnell drives, loses the basketball, stripped away on his knees, tries to throw it. Hendrickson with the steal. Straight up the floor to Holmes, gets through the Tiger defense and off the glass. Troy Holmes for the first 2-point field goal of the night for Mount Vernon, and a timeout going to be called by the Tigers. 1:45 to go first quarter. It's 13-5. Mount Vernon with the lead, and if we can bring in Dan Bartolovic, we'll start this break by checking in Cedar Woolley.
Plus, have your car professionally cleaned. Treat yourself and your car at Quick and Clean. Across from Dairy Queen in Mount Vernon, that's Quick and Clean.
Welcome back to Mount Vernon High School. A good report from Dan Bartolovic there in Cedar Woolley, where a tight ball game going on between the Cubs and Vikings. Here it is 13-5. The Bulldogs make another steal. Down the court, the pass comes to Ryan Keys, and he lays it off the glass for another Bulldog basket. 15-5, Mount Vernon.
Ryan Keys with a nice start in the ball game with 7 points. First quarter.
7 of the Bulldogs 15. They lead by 10 as the Tigers come across midcourt. The half-court trap picked up there. Keith Wilson comes through now as a pass stolen away. Hendrickson comes up loose ball. Down to Keys, then goes to Cornelius. Off the glass. Good. He's fouled. Bill Cornelius has a chance at a three-point play.
Well, right there, Keith Wilson just didn't make a real good pass right there, and Mark Hendrickson was standing there waiting for the ball and just intercepted, and boom, they go to the basket. Mount Vernon, when they get a ball loose, it's going to go to the hole.
Mount Vernon does have some substitutes into the lineup off that last time out. Torrey Swanson and Donnie Keltz both came in. Now Nate Andrews checks in for Burlington Edison, the first Tigers substitute. 1:15 to go first quarter. It is 17-5. Make it still 17-5. The free throw went in and out for Bill Cornelius, so he can't get the three-point play, but still Mount Vernon on a roll right now. After leading 8-5, they have scored 9 unanswered points. 1 minute exactly to go, first quarter of play. Brett Johnson with the basketball for the Tigers. Now out toward midcourt, right near the half-court stripe. Linnell has it, and then closer to the half-court stripe. Andrews comes out and grabs the basketball from him. Dribbles through his legs, then gives it off to Wilson. Still in the same general area, far extended from the basket. No chance of shooting out here. Tigers looking for a cut-through player on the backside, possibly, Fred, to try and get somebody breaking behind the Bulldog defender.
Yeah, that's the idea of this whole offense, is to get a cutter down low. It brings the Mount Vernon defense out, and if they become lax whatsoever, they run off a screen and they look for the back door. It hasn't been real successful so far.
Final shot time now for the Tigers. 22 seconds to go. Andrews comes up, then comes down to the left corner baseline to Linnell. Back out in front, he'll bring it to Johnson. Cornelius comes right out in his face, guarding him far away from the basket. Now finally they work it down inside to Wilson. Turn move to the basket, gets a little two-footer off, but he's fouled. Keith Wilson will go to the line for Burlington Edison. The shot errantly goes away, but he was fouled in the process. Wilson will go to the line for the Tigers' first free throw attempt of this contest with 9 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Luigi's Pizza would like to congratulate the Mount Vernon Bulldog boys and Burlington Edison Tigers in the playoffs and wish them good luck. Luigi's Pizza, home of the 24-inch party pizza and all of your favorite foods made fresh daily at East College Way by the Tri-Cinema Complex. That's Luigi's Pizza. Wilson at the free throw line gets the first free throw to drop on softly through the nets. His first point of the night. Tigers 6th and 7th as Wilson hits the pair. 9 seconds to go. Inbounds to Hendrickson under full court pressure. Brings it up left sideline. Gives it off to Kelch. Down along the baseline. Cross court pass it to the corner. There with the shot is Ryan Keys for 3 at the buzzer. And we're done with 1 quarter from Mount Vernon High School on another three-pointer for Ryan Keys, his second of the quarter, and the Bulldogs' 20th point overall. 8 minutes gone by from Mount Vernon High School. It's 20-7 Mount Vernon.
Signs maybe even during the game. Take your radio with to the Mexico Cafe and their new location.
Ryan Keys with a three-pointer to end the first quarter of play. Ends up the first quarter with 10 points. Holmes had 5. Cornelius 5 for Mount Vernon. They lead it 20-7 underway second quarter. Nate Andrews with the basketball across midcourt. Drives past the defense. Gets along the baseline. Nowhere to go. So he tosses it back out in front to Barrow. Back to Andrews along the baseline. Puts up the 3.
Andrews can shoot that ball if you leave him alone, and he just got it right back from Barrow and popped that puppy in.
20-10, lob into Hendrickson along the baseline. Mark Hendrickson tries a scoop shot from underneath, missed it. Now another miss on the rebound, put back no good. Hendrickson follows through with a third consecutive Bulldog rebound underneath.
And Hendrickson's first points, yes, out of the night.
And a
1,200 points now. He just made the 1,200 point club for basketball players in the north, well, all of Skagit County, is it not?
Skagit County in the list of 1,200 point performers now includes Mark Hendrickson. Tigers bring it down, ball stolen away. Bulldogs bring it up slowly and set up the half-court offense. Ryan Keys, left side of the baseline to Holmes. Shot rejected by Brett Johnson. Holmes grabs it, throws it out top of the key to Bill Cornelius for 3.
Boy, they're just shooting the ball really well right now, Mount Vernon. That was an excellent check by Burlington right there, and they didn't get anything out of it.
So Mark Hendrickson waits a quarter and then gets his first bucket to start off the second quarter and now has 1,200 points for the career. Keith Wilson driving right side of the key, and a foul going to be called on Ryan Keys as Wilson brought it down against Keys one-on-one right side of the paint, and really kind of a questionable call there. It looked like Wilson may have traveled before the foul, but the foul goes against Ryan Keys, his first personal. That is the second team foul on the Bulldogs. It'll put Keith Wilson at the free throw line.
Keith there just not long ago made 2, so familiar area for Keith Wilson, who has a nice touch at the foul line.
First one up and good for Wilson. He has 3 points, all of them coming at the free throw line. We'll check in momentarily again in Cedar Woolley with Dan Bartolovic, where the Cubs are hosting the Lake Stevens Vikings tonight in another boys district playoff game. Both free throws good for Wilson. 25-12, Bulldogs with the lead. Garcia under pressure gets it across midcourt, and Nate Andrews will get whistled for a reach-in foul at that point. This game being brought to you in part by today's Chevrolet, Geo, Smart Cars, Motorhome Center, and Comfort Trailers, all at Blade Chevrolet, the heartbeat of the valley. That's Blade Chevrolet on Freeway Drive, exit 227 in Mount Vernon. 6:33 to go second quarter, 25-12. Bulldog basketball down low to Cornelius, back outside to Keys. Keys dribbles it, now throws it cross-court pass to the right wing to Holmes. Dribbles down to the baseline, pull up 6-footer, too hard, backside rebound by Mark Hendrickson, and quickly up off the glass Hendrickson doesn't even come down with it, just puts it back softly off the glass for 2.
Just so much rebounding strength on the offensive board with Holmes and Hendrickson and Cornelius.
6 minutes to go, second quarter. Now Tiger on the floor is going to get called for traveling. Nate Andrews slips and falls and then can't keep his balance with the basketball and gets called for traveling right there, sitting down. And he's still arguing that call with one of the officials. With the break in the action here, let's go over to Cedar Woolley and find out how things are developing between the Cubs and Vikings in Cedar Woolley.
Well, we have 6:35 remaining of the first half. 17-11, Cedar Woolley off. The fine outside shooting from Scott Johnson. He has a couple of three-pointers and one two-pointer. Isaac Bloom also counting. Lake Stevens really tenacious on defense. And our score again is 17-11 with 6:35 remaining. This report brought to you in part by Valley Auto Supply, who congratulates all the Cedar Woolley boys in the state tournament. That's Valley Auto Supply at 220 West Ferry Street at Cedar Woolley for all your automotive parts and supplies at 855-0141. Cedar Woolley on top, 17-11. It's back to you, Scott and Fred.
Thank you very much, Dan Bartolovic. The only thing that has happened here since we last left was a Keith Wilson basket, but right as we come back, Brett Johnson gets into the act, and Johnson scores his first points, and it's 27-16. Mount Vernon with the lead still. Bulldog basketball in the hands of Garcia, dribbling out near the forecourt. Now dribbles left side, the pass comes to Keys. Cutting underneath Cornelius, gets the pass to him as Cornelius finally pops out up top. Back to Keys, now down low baseline to Mark Hendrickson. Ball knocked away from behind. Brett Johnson with an excellent check on Mark Hendrickson.
Just a nice job by Johnson staying tough in there, just picked his pocket. He was looking at 2 and it just wasn't there.
Almost looked like Hendrickson was going to step up and dunk it home. He had such a wide open lane to the hoop, and Johnson gets the check from behind. Wilson at the foul line, now passes baseline to Linnell. 18-footer air ball. Garcia comes up with it for Mount Vernon. Breaks it down the floor himself. Garcia down the middle of the key, missed the shot, but there is Mark Hendrickson with the rebound and put back in. Another offensive bucket for Hendrickson. He has 6. 29-16 Bulldogs.
Dave Garcia having a tough time finding the hole, 0 for 4. But when you got guys rebounding like we've got inside on the offensive boards, it's okay. You can miss a few, I guess, huh, Scott?
Mark Hendrickson doing a good job inside. Now Tiger shot from the corner. It's Barrel missing it from 18. Rebound Cornelius. Outlet pass to midcourt. Garcia now pulls up, throws it left wing to Ryan Keys for 3 from the NBA three-point line. Ryan Keys with his 3rd three-point shot on the evening.
Well, that's he's just got it going. He's a streak shooter, Ryan Keys, and when he gets it going, look out, Katie bar the door, because he won't stop.
Tiger's going to try and counter, and another air ball, this one by Andrews. Down court pass to Garcia, gets past the defense and then blows the lay-in. Looking back, he thought somebody might catch him, and he ends up leaving a lay-in short. Andrews with the Tiger basketball, misses a shot inside. Rebound, Matt Linnell with an offensive board and putback shot for Burlington Edison.
No quit in the Tigers. They're not going to roll over. Linnell standing real nice there, taking a nice strong shot, putting it in.
32-18 Bulldogs. Garcia drives, and a foul going to be whistled as Garcia passed the free throw line. Tiger going to be called for the reach in, and that is going to be, I believe, on Nate Andrews, picking up his first personal, 3rd team foul on the Tigers. Substitutes coming in for Burlington Edison. David Lloyd checks in. John Best comes back in, and Leo Sanders, the first big man to come in as a replacement for the Tigers off the bench.
For Mount Vernon, you have Donnie Keltz in and Chad Wires in for Mount Vernon. And Mount Vernon, Mac Frazier calls timeout.
We'll break away and face some commercials here. 3:19 to go in the first half. From Mount Vernon High School, it's 32-18. Bulldogs, we'll be back right after this.
Right now, you'll find special
CCI Cablevision today. 757-2877 or in Anacortes, 293-5111.
3:19 to go first half, 32-18. Mount Vernon with the lead over Burlington Edison. Dog basketball in the hands of Garcia. Now left side to Chad Wires. Dribbles up toward the top of the key. Gives it off to Bill Cornelius. Cross-court pass to Garcia. John Best with a tight defense. Garcia dribbled through the leg. Now pulls up. Left all alone standing out there near the wing. Goes to Keltz along the baseline. Now softly lobs it into Hendrickson. Hendrickson driving and trying to come from underneath the basket. Has the ball stripped away and knocked out of bounds by a Tiger guard. John Best coming down in there to give some backside help on Hendrickson.
It's always tough playing Mount Vernon. You pack it in to try to stop Hendrickson, or you try to stop the three-point play.
Hendrickson gets the lob, inbounds pass, missed the shot, loose ball on the floor. Mark goes after it, picks it up, goes right back to the hole. Mark Hendrickson with a hustle and offensive rebound. Tigers had a chance to come out of that one, but couldn't find the loose ball on the floor, and Hendrickson got it first and gets the easy putback basket for Mount Vernon. 34-18, Dogs with the lead. Tiger out front with it is Keith Wilson. Now to Leo Sanders as they cut through, spread this offense a little bit more. And now Mount Vernon going to come out and pick up the defense a little tighter than they had been the past few moments. John Best over to David Lloyd to Keith Wilson. Pass motion through offense for the Tigers to Leo Sanders near midcourt. Standing between the circles, now dribbles toward the right sideline. Bounce passes it back to Best near midcourt. Throw it left side to Lloyd as he cuts out. The sophomore has the basketball there for the yellow jerseyed Tigers here against the white and green of Mount Vernon. And a lot of white and green in attendance here tonight. A nearly sold out gymnasium for this district playoff game. Glad to have you with us on KAPS AM 660 Mount Vernon. I'm Scott Buchanan along with Fred Lee. Dan Bartolovic is in Cedar Woolley, where we will go back in just a few moments to check in and find out how the Cubs are coming against Lake Stevens in their district game tonight. The winners of these contests this evening will end up playing on Friday, although Mount Vernon and Cedar Woolley would play in opposite games in the semifinals of the district tournament should they both win this evening. Tigers continuing with the motion through offense. Now cutting through left side of the lane, cuts to the middle. Keith Wilson lays it up off the glass, saw a hole in the Bulldog defense, and Wilson exploits it and cuts through and gets down there for the basket for Burlington Edison. Mount Vernon across midcourt. Garcia dribbles it. Now lob to Hendrickson. Goes to the baseline. He'll pull up. 18-footer from there. Missed the shot. Rebound grabbed. Wilson has it. Dribbles out of some trouble and now will come away and just let everybody else hustle down the floor, and he'll bring it up slowly across the midcourt stripe for Burlington Edison. 34-20. Bulldogs by 14. Final minute of the first half. Pass over to David Lloyd. Lloyd with the basketball. Out to Best. Couple of feet from the midcourt stripe. Now over to Leo Sanders as they play catch out front. Sanders steps up and gives it bounce back out toward midcourt again to Wilson. Tigers extending, using all inches that they get at their end of the floor. David Lloyd dribbling out toward midcourt, almost slips and falls down. A little dampness on the floor. The Tigers have lost their footing a couple of times at this end. Now a pass knocked away. Loose ball on the floor. Best will come back with it for the Tigers, but he stands up and Hendrickson steals it. Mark Hendrickson down the floor, and the two-handed jam for Mark Hendrickson. Hendrickson makes the steal and takes it down the floor himself for the two-handed stop. 7 seconds to go first half. Driving down the right side of the key, John Best gets by the defense, makes the lay-in, and that will do it for the end of the first half of play from Mount Vernon High School. The Tigers get a bucket to end this second quarter of action. 36-22 our score here as the second quarter comes to a close, and we're going to try and get head coach Darcy Weisner.
Offensively, we need to keep attacking the basket as much as we possibly can. Thanks a lot, Mac. Appreciate it.
Head coach Matt Fraser of the Mount Vernon Bulldogs with Fred Lee there courtside, and glad to have a couple of comments from either head coach here, and we'll hear from some of the participants in this contest after it's all said and done. But we have 16 minutes of basketball action to go here at Mount Vernon. 36-22, Bulldogs with the lead in this Northwest District boys basketball game on KAPS. I'm Scott Buchanan. Fred Lee is joining me here courtside at Mount Vernon High School. Dan Bartolovic is live in Cedar Woolley, and we'll check in for a final couple of comments now if we can bring Dan Bartolovic back onto the broadcast before we get set to go with the third quarter here in Mount Vernon. Dan, some thoughts on your game at halftime in Cedar Woolley?
Well, first of all, one of the biggest ones, defense, the name of the game, and even though Justin Raven's not scoring too much, he has 4 points. He also is very prolific with 6 blocks thus far in the first half. Quickly, the leading scorer, 12 points for Isaac Bloom, and Scott Johnson has 10. And then it goes down to 8 points for Cam Cleveland, 4 for Justin Raven, 2 from the Shane Collins free throw efforts. The Cubs are 3 of 6 at the free throw line. They commit 7 turnovers. And looking at 3 turnovers for Lake Stevens, everybody they have is in single figures. They're led by Rio, 3 stars, 7 points, 6 points for Troy Johnson, 2 each for Harlan Roberson and Shane Posey to round out their effort. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. And as we mentioned, just 3 turnovers for the Cubs on rebounding. The Lake Stevens Vikings by the average, this is unofficial, by 16 to 12. So our halftime score, 36-17. Cedar Woolley well on their way to the winner's bracket, but the second half might have a different story. Let's go into the second half of Mount Vernon and Burlington for the play-by-play. Here's Scott Buchanan.
And thank you very much, Dan Bartolovic. Glad to have everyone with us tonight here on KAPS, and hope that we're bringing you sports coverage that you'd like to hear. We're certainly happy to be able to be in both gymnasiums tonight and bring play-by-play coverage of 2 Northwest District boys basketball contests. back here in Mount Vernon's third quarter just about set to get underway. 36-22. Bulldogs with the lead. And the Tigers will... Well, I'm not sure who's going to get the basketball to start things off. Finally, the Mount Vernon player is going to go over towards the sideline, Fred, and we'll find out. I think Mount Vernon is going to get the ball to start things off here in the third quarter, and they are, in fact. Troy Holmes finally will walk over to the official, and they have the possession arrow, so they will get to start this third quarter with the ball. Professionals Northwest is the only locally owned temporary staffing agency for healthcare professionals in Mount Vernon. Call 424-3020 for more information. A proud sponsor of this boys high school basketball game on KABS Professionals Northwest. Just underway, third quarter action, Bulldog basketball. Dave Garcia on the left wing. The Ryan Keys swing it right side now around the perimeter to Cornelius. Guarded there by Matt Linnell. Cornelius steps up, now goes top of the key with the pass to Garcia. Swinging around left side to Ryan Keys. Keys looks to the high post, now hits Cornelius. Over right wing to Garcia, and the defense drops completely off Dave Garcia. Sagging back in, Best, and he'll get a hand on the pass, but knocks it over to Hendrickson, who grabs the loose ball, steps up, 8-footer from the right wing, no good. So good defense by John Best, and the Tigers come away with the rebound off the miss by Hendrickson. Burlington basketball, their first possession of this third quarter, 36-22. They trail by 14. They have time. They need the patience, and they need to hit some shots to come back into this contest. They will sag back out toward half court and set up their offense again. That spread offense, Fred, that when it works and they use their patience, they're able to get some points.
Well, that's absolutely right. It's up to Mount Vernon to get in there and see if they can do something about that offense. But right now, 14 points down, they're not out of a ball game. A couple threes, and they're right back in it, and that's what Burlington's thinking right now.
High post pass to Johnson. Now left wing to Merrill. Back to Johnson. High post, 16-footer off the front of the rim, no good. Holmes with the rebound. Pass off to Garcia across midcourt. Down to the top of the key, Dave Garcia comes up to the foul line, and with the ball between his legs, comes back out to the top of the key. Left side, work it down low into Hendrickson. Spin move to the middle of the key. Mark Hendrickson gets the shot off, but it's knocked away, and he is fouled by a Tiger underneath. The foul will be whistled on John Best with the reach in.
Well, that's a good, strong move by Mark. They have to, I believe that Burlington is going to have to deny that pass inside, because Mark Hendrickson at 6'9", hitting the ball 4 feet from the basket, just can go either way. And there was really nothing. Johnson was there, nothing he could do, and they tried to get help from Best, and it's too tough.
Shooting foul puts Mark Hendrickson at the line. He hits the first one. Dowley's Auto Body would like to congratulate the Mount Vernon Bulldog boys and Burlington Edison boys in the basketball playoffs. Remember, Dowley's Auto Body for all of your auto body, glass, upholstery, and painting needs. 300 Willow Lane in Mount Vernon. That's Dowley's Auto Body. 38-22 Bulldogs as Mark Hendrickson gets a pair of free throws, and now with some pressure, the Tigers getting it across the timeline into the hands of Matt Linnell from John Best. Now back to Linnell after he goes in the corner to Johnson. Now back to the corner to Johnson, playing catch on the side, looking to get it in maybe to Wilson. He's low post left side of the key. Out to Linnell again. Tigers looking at a two-man game, but now spread back out. Now cutting underneath. Barrow comes along the baseline, turnaround move, and Jared Barrow misses the easy 6-footer. He had an open shot and left it short off the rim. Garcia with the rebound out, comes down with the Bulldogs, brings it to the foul line, missed the shot. Tap out by Barrow is controlled by the Bulldogs. Holmes will step up and fire the three, but it rims in and out. And now Matt Linnell with the rebound. Outlet pass comes to the Tiger, John Best. Up the floor he comes. He'll pull up left wing off the glass. 15-footer for John Best off the backboard. First points of the second half for the Tigers, 38-24. Still a 14-point Bulldog lead. Lob comes into Hendrickson. Good head fake move, and he gets past Linnell. Missed the shot, but the rebound and right back up and in for Mark Hendrickson. He now has 14. He had 10 in the second quarter alone, and now a steal on the Tiger pass inbounds. Ryan Keys, the steal, and easy lay-in for Mount Vernon. Sloppy passing for Burlington Edison.
Ryan with 15 points, Hendrickson with 14, taking turns scoring right now.
42-24. Mount Vernon starting to pull away. Johnson from the corner, no good. Rebound in the center of the floor to Keys. Up the floor he goes to Hendrickson. Down the center of the key, Mark Hendrickson finger rolls it in.
That's just a nice move by the 6'9" guy with a finger roll. He can do it all. He can dribble the ball down if need be. Right now, Burlington needs a couple good buckets. They had a mismatch.
John Best drives, pulls up, and gets a little hole in the seam of the Bulldog defense, and he hits the 14-footer there. So John Best with a pair of baskets here in the third quarter, the only points the Tigers have mustered. Holmes drives and is fouled as he goes to the basket. Jared Verrill with the body against Troy Holmes as he came down the right side of the key, and it should put Holmes at the line for Mount Vernon.
John Best, the bright spot right now on the offense. Not a lot of offense out of Burlington. The last time they had an M&M'er with Ryan matched up with Verrill, but Verrill could not get the cripple in, so you turn that over. That's what they're looking for, is that cripple down low.
Foul on Jared Verrill is his second. No, I'm sorry, they're going to call it on Brett Johnson. The official came over and first set 4-4, and now the other official changes it. Brett Johnson picks up his second personal. At the line, Troy Holmes hits the first free throw and the second one as well. So Troy Holmes has 7 points on the night. Pair of free throws here, 46-26. Bulldog lead grows to 20. They led by 14 at the half. Sideline pass to Johnson, drives baseline, tries to go between his legs. He's trapped. Now baseline pass comes to Keith Wilson. He spins to the middle of the key, and Keith Wilson with a little 6-footer spin-around move for the Tigers.
Double figures for Keith Wilson tonight with 10.
46-28, three-point shot out front for Holmes. Missed it. Hendrickson chases the long rebound along the left baseline. Thinks about the three as he takes it out to the corner, but doesn't go. Ryan Keyes takes the pass from him, drives, dishes off to Holmes. Holmes up off the glass, rolls around and falls through for Troy Holmes.
A great assist by Ryan Keyes, penetrating, drawing the defense, and then just laying off to Troy Holmes.
Tigers come through some pressure, and Matt Linnell gets it across the midcourt stripe to the foul line of Verrill. He'll cut down the center of the key. Ball knocked away. Loose ball on the floor. Picked up. Hendrickson. Outlet pass to Garcia. Up across half court. Now Garcia pulls up at the foul line. Left-handed pass down this left side of the key. Goes to Holmes. Spins to the basket. Gets the shot to fall. And a foul called against, Burlington. Edison will go against Matt Linnell, and it puts Troy Holmes at the line with a chance at a three-point play.
Mount Vernon right now really having their way in the paint, getting the ball deep inside, and they're just too clever underneath to stop them after they get that entry pass inside.
3:29 to go third quarter, 50-28. Mount Vernon starting to pull away in this contest. Free throw missed by Holmes. Luigi's Pizza would like to congratulate the Bulldogs and Tigers for making this playoff game. Luigi's Pizza, home of the 24-inch Party Pizza. Three-point shot up for Matt Linnell, and he just earned the pizza with that big jumper from the left baseline. Matt Linnell with his first points of the second half, but quickly the Bulldogs push it up the floor and go to Hendrickson in the middle of the key. And Mark Hendrickson was silent in the first quarter, but he's been well known since then. Steal on the inbounds pass. Ryan Keyes comes up with a loose ball, and he'll be fouled going back to the basket by Keith Wilson. It will put Ryan Keyes at the free throw line to shoot 2 for Mount Vernon as Wilson picks up the personal foul, and that is number 1 on Keith Wilson, the 4th team foul on the Tigers here in the third quarter. And I was saying a moment ago, Luigi's Pizza, home of the 24-inch Party Pizza and all of your favorite foods, made fresh daily at East College Way by the Tri-Cinema Complex. That's Luigi's Pizza. Ryan Keyes misses the first free throw, and a substitute, David Lloyd, coming into the lineup for the Tigers.
Interesting to see David Lloyd come in there. Linnell shooting that three-pointer as well as anybody, and he's going to take a seat. I think they needed a few trays right now. I don't know if I'd want him out of there.
Bulldogs going to counter with a pair of substitutes themselves. Donnie Keltz and Torrey Swanson going to come in as the second free throw does go through for Ryan Keyes. So he has 16 on the night, 52-31, 3 minutes to go third quarter. We're going to check in again in just a second with Dan Bartolovic in Cedar Woolley as the Tigers get it across midcourt to John Best down in the corner. Brett Johnson to shoot the three. He missed it. And a foul going to be whistled underneath on the rebound against the Tiger. With 2:49 to go in the third quarter here, we'll change gymnasiums over to Cedar Woolley and check in and see how things are developing as they got the second half underway between the Cubs and Vikings. Hello once again to Dan Bartolovic.
And it's still 36-17 as we start the third quarter of play with 7 minutes remaining. And Cedar Woolley just can't seem to buy a bucket. And now Lake Stevens finally gets one on the tip-in. Troy Johnson to make it now 36-19, 6:40 remaining. The Cubs definitely have the run and gun going for them, but Justin Raven is not having what you might call one of his better days. 6:30 remaining, 36-19. Cedar Woolley has the lead. Lake Stevens trying to make it a great third quarter. Back to Scott Buchanan in Mount Vernon.
2:36 to go in this third quarter of Mount Vernon and Burlington Edison. District game number 1. On this night of 4 district games being played around Northwest Washington, the other games going on tonight, Bellingham on the road this evening playing at Monroe, and Shorecrest, the Wesco champion, hosting the Seaholm Mariners tonight. And the way the district bracket comes about, the winners of tonight's games will play on Friday night. The winner of the Cedarwoolley Lake Stevens contest will face the winner of Shorecrest and Seaholm. The winner of this game here between Mount Vernon and Burlington Medicine faces the winner of Monroe and Bellingham. That's at Marysville Pilchuck High School Friday night. Pair of free throws by the Bulldogs, and it's 55-31 now. Tigers driving. Best has the ball knocked away from behind by Swanson. Bulldogs come up with a loose ball. Down court pass goes to Torrey Swanson. He'll lay it up off the glass from the left side and foul. Torrey Swanson, the sophomore, will go to the line for another three-point play opportunity for the Mount Vernon Bulldogs.
Torrey Swanson, his first 2 points of the night. Chad Wires now coming in for Ryan Keys. Chad Wires usually spells Ryan Keys, but Ryan Keys just having a great night tonight with 16 points. And I don't know, at least 3 steals, 4 two-point buckets at the other end.
Free throw up and no good by Swanson. A miss on the floor. The ball coming out. Swanson chases it down near the sideline, throws it back out toward midcourt, and a Bulldog going after it there will step on the center court stripe over and back on Mount Vernon. But a good hustling job that time by Torrey Swanson to go after the rebound on his missed free throw. Still his lay-in a moment ago makes it 57-31 now. Bulldogs with the lead. Tigers with the basketball. John Best out front, swinging around the perimeter to Wilson. Down baseline to Verrill. Back out to Wilson. In the corner, back to Verrill. Pass tip, but Verrill gets it. Now steps up, moving in, throws it to the top of the key. Bullet pass to Best. Shoots the three from there. No good. Rebound underneath. Hendrickson has it, knocked away. Hendrickson comes back down with it. Gives it off to Swanson. Up the court, the pass intended for Donnie Keltz. Bounces off of his foot and goes out of bounds. It'll be Tiger basketball with 1:45 to go third quarter. It is Mount Vernon 57-31. And a timeout. Oh, I'm sorry. Just going to have some substitutions coming in right here. Nate Andrews will check in for John Best for Burlington Medicine. This game being brought to you in part by today's Chevrolet. Geo Smart Cars, Motorhome Center, and Comfort Trailers. That's Blade Chevrolet on Freeway Drive in Mount Vernon. The heartbeat of the valley, Blade Chevrolet. Three-point opportunity for the Tigers. Nate Andrews firing it short. Rebound Swanson, bringing it down the floor himself. He keeps it. Torrey Swanson misses a layup, but yes, right there to make the offensive rebound and put back in. Having a fine, fine ball game. Mark Hendrickson with another rebound and put back in for Mount Vernon. 59-31 as we near the end of the third quarter. Steele on the up-court pass for Donnie Keltz, and he'll take it right down the floor and lay it up off the glass. Donnie Keltz with the steal and the bucket for Mount Vernon. 61-31, 14-point halftime lead is growing now to 30 for Mount Vernon with a big third quarter here. David Lloyd to shoot the three from the corner for the Tigers. And finally, Burlington Medicine ends a long scoring drought by a three-point shot from David Lloyd. Drive for Mount Vernon, a foul whistle going to the bucket. Mount Vernon player knocked backwards as he drove down toward the key. Foul will be whistled against Burlington Medicine player. I believe it's going against Leo Sanders, the junior forward. Gets whistled for his first personal. 17th foul against the Tigers. No fouls against Mount Vernon here in this third quarter. Mark Hendrickson was the Bulldog fouled. One-on-one opportunity? No. There's going to be two shots. The players went after the rebound on the miss, but they'll bring him back and let him shoot that second one. Is checking into the Tiger lineup for the first time tonight. Eric Hansen comes on the floor for Burlington Medicine.
Trent Keys also in for Mount Vernon, and Steve Bertelson ready to check in for Mount Vernon.
That point a moment ago by Torrey Swanson, Fred, the only points off the Bulldog bench tonight. That's a rather unfamiliar scenario.
Well, that's exactly right. Usually they carry their load, but just haven't had to do it tonight.
Hendrickson and Cornelius get a round of applause as they come to the Mount Vernon bench. More reserves checking into the lineup. Donnie Keltz came back in for Mount Vernon. Shot from the corner for the Tigers is missed. Loose ball on the floor. Chased down. Trent Keys comes up with it. Stolen back away by Verrill. And Jared Verrill with the steal gets a Tiger basket as he cuts right back to the hoop after making the steal on the rebound by Trent Keys of Mount Vernon. 62-36. 24 seconds to go third quarter. Wires with the ball on the right wing. Out front to Keltz.
Jared Verrill's first 2 points of the ball game, and that's certainly indicative of how the things are going for Burlington right now. They needed a good game out of Jared Verrill.
Driving, Chad Wires comes right side, rolls up a shot off the glass, and it falls on through after circling the iron. Chad Wires with a drive from the right wing, and he'll go to the free throw line for the three-point play opportunity. This is going to do it for play-by-play activity from Mount Vernon High School. We are going to join Dan Bartolovic to start off what would be our fourth quarter here in Mount Vernon when we get done with these final 8 seconds of third quarter play in Bulldog country. 64-36 to score as Wires misses the free throw. 6 seconds to go. Tigers rebound up the floor to David Lloyd. He'll pull up 13-footer. Good. David Lloyd with another Tiger quarter-ending basket, and that will do it for 3 quarters of play at Mount Vernon High School. We'll take a breakaway for a commercial message and then rejoin Dan Bartolovic in Cedar Woolley after 3 quarters in Mount Vernon at 64-38 Bulldogs. Back to Cedar Woolley High School right after this.
Windermere.
$6.99. You won't beat these deals anywhere. Now, with the new kids menu starting at just $1.99. The Buzz-In Steakhouse with 10 locations, all accepting Visa and MasterCard.
And as Scott noted, we'll move out now to Cedar Woolley and Dan Bartolovic for play-by-play.
Well, we have 3:35 remaining in the third quarter of play, and Cedar Woolley has a lead of 42-22, but they're starting a little bit of self-destruct as they go to work for the action here. They throw in bounds, they throw it away. Justin Raymond has been prolific defensively. He has 8 blocks for the game, and thus far, scoring-wise, only 4 points, but his rebound power is keeping the Cubs alive. Cedar Woolley now playing defense as Gunnar Robeson goes to work out front now to Harlan Roberson. Gets the ball back through. There's a shot by Rio Three Stars, another block, and here's Raymond dishing out to Johnson to the hoop. He shoots and scores after he falls down. Johnson with 12 in the game. Quickly, Roberson takes it across the timeline. Goes to work with a bounce pass to Gunnar Roberson. Challenges down the lane. A foul will be charged underneath. That one goes to Teddy Anderson. And Teddy will commit his first. This ball game is brought to you in part tonight by Valley Auto Supply, congratulating all the Cedar Woolley players to get into the district tournament and hopefully on the state. That's Valley Auto Supply, 220 West Barry Street in Cedar Woolley. For all your automotive parts and supplies, 855-0141. Three Stars takes it to the paint. The ball rejected. That's 9 or 10. 10 blocked shots right now on the part of Justin Raymond. Boy, is he having a great night defensively, spotting flies left and right. Full house here with the exception of the bleachers at the far end. Our location is courtside as you just come in the main entrance, right by the ticket stand and within the waft of the hot dogs and everything else of the popcorn machine. We get set to go again. Lake Stevens takes the ball from left to right. Right side, Gunnar Robeson down to the baseline. Spin dribble, goes back up front, looks torn about pass over to Rio Three Stars. Rio looking left side now for some help. Andy Taylor has the ball down low. Ping-pongs around. Finally picked up mid-court across the timeline, but it was touched by a Cedar Woolley player. Roberson tries a little hip shot on a scoop to the hoop, and he drew the foul underneath. He'll go to the line and shoot a couple of shots as we check in with 2:29 remaining. 44-22 our score. Scott Buchanan said the winner of the Shorecrest Seahome game will play this particular team Friday night in Marysville. The losers will also play each other on Tuesday night, if we have everything correct. And, of course, Cunningham and Monroe are also playing tonight. Some of the other activities going on in district play. Well, Justin Raymond committing his second personal foul. He'll come to the sideline, and C.J. Brown will replace him at the line. Is Roberson, the shot on the way. He throws a brick. And Gunnar now is 1 for 3 at the free throw line. He has 3 points thus far in the game. 44-22. The Cubs have a commanding lead, but never say commanding with 2:29 to go in the third period. Second shot by Gunnar on the way right to the bottom of the net. And it's now 44-23. Cedar Woolley with Shane Collins now. Takes the ball to the top of the key, dribbling to the right wing. Passing off to Teddy Anderson. Teddy posting up. Top of the key it goes instead now. Looking for some help into the ball game. And that is Ryan Evans seeing his first action here tonight. Shane Collins again to the right. Looking for some help down to the paint. He goes, shoots on the run, and we're going to have a foul reaching in, and it goes against Lake Stevens. Ray Brulin and also Dave Butler are the officials here tonight. And we'll see who gets the ticket. With 2:11 remaining, 44-23 our score. The foul will be called on Roberson. It'll be his third, and Cedar Woolley will get the ball in bounds at the end. Teddy Anderson goes in quickly now to Evans to the baseline. Nothing there. Looks, goes back out front. The ball knocked loose. Picked up again by Cam Cleveland. Shane Collins goes to work. Back to Evans at the right wing, looking for Cam down low. Cleveland has the ball, faking shooting, has the roll to the left hand. The finger roll that does not go, and a foul will be called, and Cam will be at the line. Cleveland, excellent shooting and rebounding, 8 points. And unofficially 6 rebounds in the first half, but the big story defensively has been 10 straight blocks. Not 10 straight, but 10 blocks throughout the ball game by Cameron Cleveland. 1:58 remaining as Cameron Burlington.
Well, thanks very much, Dan. 73-43. The Bulldogs continuing to pull away with this contest. 4:30 to go in the fourth quarter, and we'll throw it back to you and then come back here with the final couple of minutes of action from Mount Vernon. 73-43, Bulldogs over the Tigers.
All right, thank you much. First shot by Cleveland does not go. The second one does. It's now a 45-23 affair as the Cubs are leading it here in the third quarter. Rio Three Stars right side three-pointer on the way by Gunnar Robeson. Does not go to rebound by Shane Collins. Pulls it down, looks for a white jersey, throws a midcourt, intercepted by Robertson. He'll take it to the top of the key down low. He passes it to Johnson. Johnson shot no good. Rebound try by Johnson. Spins around and a foul will be called. I believe Shane Collins got a bit too close for comfort. Shane a little hot with the call by Dave Butler of the Snohomish County Association as the call goes against the Cedar Woolley Cubs. And that is going to be the 15th foul for the Cubs. And let's see exactly what happens here as they will be sending to the line for Lake Stevens, a shooter. Second foul for Shane Collins, and at the line is Troy Johnson. Thus far, he's 2 for 4, 0 for 2 in this half, however. 8 points in the game. The shot by Troy on the way, right to the bottom of the net. It's now 45-24, 1:39 remaining. One more coming on the way as Cedar Woolley and Lake Stevens fans in unison here tonight. District tournament action on KAPS. Second shot by Johnson also goes. It's now a 45-25 game. 20 points ahead for Cedar Woolley. 1:34 remaining. Isaac Bloom goes to work. Top of the circle. Left side now looking and finding Ryan Evans. One quick dribble. Hits some traffic down low. DJ Brown left side. The ball gets away, but Bloom gets it back again to the right wing. Bloom looking down low to Cleveland. Triple team. Shoots on the left-hand roll. Does not get it. And a foul will be called. And it goes against Cam Cleveland trying to get the rebound. And Troy Johnson went down hard as Cleveland really gave him a good block. But we'll go down to the other end of the court. 1:19 remaining of the game. 45-25. Portal Industries proud to bring you this ball game in part tonight on KAPS Mount Vernon. Rio Three Stars will take the ball in bounds. He along with Andy Taylor in the lineup now for Lake Stevens. Winners of 5 of their last 6 ball games, but they've had some awful streaks during their 10 and 11 tenure this particular season, including a couple of games where they went 4 in a row without winning anything. Fans rather quiet and passive here tonight. Certainly hope you're enjoying the broadcast and all the activities, and a big salute to Mount Vernon. What we'll do right here, Scott, we got a minute 19 remaining. If you want to wait for we're done or you want to take it back now, what's your pleasure? Yeah, we'll keep it right here as Scott prepares for the last couple minutes of the ball game. Here we go. Rio Three Stars across the timeline, left side looking for Robeson. Back to Three Stars again. Cubs with a sagging zone. They go the back door pass. It's right there, and it's good. Andy Taylor gets the back door on the alley-oop. And it's now 45-27, a minute remaining in the third period. Isaac Bloom takes the ball to the top of the key, pressing man-to-man defense by Lake Stevens. Bloom goes to work down low to Raymond. The ball knocked loose. Foul reaching in. Gunnar Roberson will get the ticket, and that should send somebody to the line right here. They're lining up for it anyhow. 53 seconds remaining. That's the fourth foul on Gunnar Robeson. Now they're going to say no shot. And Teddy Anderson will inbound the basketball for the Cedar Woolley Cubs. Looks for a white jersey, finds Bloom, baseline, down low in traffic, back to Bloom again with the pass. The shot by Blooming is up and good. 3 points. 19 points for Isaac Bloom. Andy Taylor to the right side to the wing now. Check down low in some traffic, moves the ball down low. And there's a double dribble call against Troy Johnson. 5 turnovers for Lake Stevens in the game. 37 seconds remaining in the third period. It's now 48-27. The Cubs bring the one of them board on right here. Justin Raymond makes the handoff like he's a quarterback to Isaac Bloom, who was a quarterback, and now goes to work with a two Blooming to the top of the key. Isaac now looking, trying to go down the paint. Fires a 15-footer. The ball does not go, but a foul will be called before the shot. That's the 17th foul, so now we should have the 1-1 situation. Well, tomorrow morning, it'll be Paul Harvey at 6:30. And, of course, at 7:30, during Morning Watch, we invite you to stay tuned for all the activities right here on KAPS. From the news source, these scores and other top news stories around the region in the Northwest with Scott Buchanan. Shot out of the way by Bloom is up and good. He has one more coming. 20 points for Isaac Bloom, and he has 1, 2, 3 three-pointers thus far. With 25 seconds remaining, the Cubs looking for their 50th. On the way, there it goes. There it is. And Isaac Bloom now with 21 points, 50 to 27, 25 seconds remaining. One last shot perhaps here for Lake Stevens and Norm Lowry's team. Let's see what happens. Real three stars. Down low in traffic, a layup underneath by Andy Taylor. And the back door was wide open. We're down now to 13 seconds as I speak. Quick pass over to Justin Raymond. Looking low, nobody there, looking high. One dribble, losing it. Down the lane it goes now to Bloom. He shoots a soft 8-footer out the back of the rack. No good. Rebound high in the air, picked up by Johnson, but the buzzer runs out. And time runs out after 3 periods of play in this district basketball tournament contest on KAPS. Our score is Cedar Woolley 50 and Lake Stevens 29. We'll be back right after this timeout.
And welcome back to Mount Vernon High School. 56 seconds all that remain in this contest as they get set for their fourth quarter of action in Cedar Woolley. We are a little bit ahead here in Mount Vernon as the Bulldogs are just 56 seconds away from advancing into the semifinals of the 1992 Northwest District AA Boys Basketball Tournament. Congratulations go out to the O'Connor Braves earlier this afternoon. Scott Novak's squad qualifying for the B-State Tournament with a triple overtime 67-66 win over Tacoma Baptist. It is 83-46. Mount Vernon with a big lead over Burlington Edison here as Jared Barrell sinks a pair of free throws for Burlington Edison. Barrell's just 6 points on the night. It's 83-47 now. Middle of the key shot for the Bulldogs missed, and Kevin Cannon grabs the rebound for Burlington Edison, gives it off to a teammate. Patrick Christopher, the freshman with the basketball, goes to sophomore junior Leo Sanders, and Sanders stepping outside the forward cans a three-pointer for his first points of the evening. 83-50, final 28 seconds of this basketball game. Down the floor with the shot up there is Adrian Rusin, missed it. The rebound, Christopher, down court pass comes to Jared Barrell, drives to the bucket and lays it off the glass. Good. Barrell gets a couple of more fast break points for Burlington Edison, but it's going to be the Bulldogs advancing in the winner's bracket, and Mount Vernon will go on with their 25th straight victory as the buzzer sounds out here and the Tigers get a final shot that won't count at the buzzer. 83-52. Mount Vernon 25 straight and on to the semifinals of the district tournament. Burlington Edison will fall into the consolation bracket, still alive though in the tournament. The Tigers will play 1 week from this evening against the loser of tonight's Monroe-Bellingham contest, and that taking place at Marysville-Pilchuck High School. So one Mount Vernon team advances on. The Mount Vernon girls will be here tomorrow night, Fred Lee, and they'll have their chance to move on in the district tournament as well. But this game, let's reflect back very quickly and go back to Cedar Woolley in just a moment. 83-52, the Bulldogs came out, got their early spurt, and the Tigers kind of hung tough. You said in the second quarter, there's no quitting these Tigers, and at halftime, they were within distance. They had 14 down at the half. Then in the third quarter of play is when the Bulldogs really turned up the gas and started to run away with this contest.
Well, that's exactly right. There's just too many weapons to go around for Mount Vernon throwing at different people, and they're inside and they're outside, and it really makes it tough. I look to see Burlington play a good basketball game coming up, but the thing that I like is this Western Conference is pretty well, or excuse me, the Northwest Conference is pretty well telling the Western Conference where the strength is. There's been 3 games, and Northwest Conference has won all 3 games up to what we've heard right now. If Woolley goes through and wins, Burlington beat Baybridge, and then Mount Vernon, of course, beating Burlington. But I tell you what, I think this Northwest League, the first 4 teams are a lot stronger than what people realize, and we'll find that out later on tonight to see if that's true with Seaholm and Bellingham's game.
Mark Hendrickson had 27 points to lead the Mount Vernon offensive attack tonight. 18 for Ryan Keys this evening, 10 for Bill. Through 3 quarters. He didn't score in the first half, and Barrell on the evening ends up with 7 points for Burlington Edison. 83-52 our final score. This Mount Vernon and Burlington boys basketball game has been brought to you in part tonight by Professionals Northwest, the only locally owned temporary staffing agency for healthcare professionals in Mount Vernon. Give a call to 424-3020 for more information. Proud sponsors of this boys game, that's Professionals Northwest. And Dalley's Auto Body would like to congratulate the Bulldogs and Tigers for making the basketball playoffs. Remember, Dalley's Auto Body for all of your auto body, glass, upholstery, and painting needs. That's 300 Willow Lane in Mount Vernon for Dalley's Auto Body. 83-52 Bulldogs. They go on to play Friday night. The Tigers will play 1 week from tonight. We'll talk a bit more about that when the scenario becomes clearer here in just a moment. Fourth quarter action from Cedar Woolley High School is coming up next after we take this 1-minute timeout. Is another Mount Vernon senior as well, join us here in the post-game show. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for staying around for a couple of moments. A quick ending game here tonight in Mount Vernon. The Bulldogs winning it 83-52. And Fred, I'll let you go ahead and start off with Bill.
Well, really, there's two separate types of things that we're going to talk about. I'm going to ask Bill what it was like to get ready for this basketball game. You've played Burlington twice. You're playing in your own gym. It's a home game. It's not like a playoff game, and I'm sure that concerned Coach Mack and some of the other coaches, and it concerned me. How did you personally get ready for the game?
Well, personally, just did the same thing as any other game. I know I was a little worried that we weren't up for Burlington since we beat them 2 times before, but I think we came out and proved that we were. And I think everybody did their own thing, and we did all that.
Well, Bill, you had a good basketball game. You had a couple nice feeds. You had 10 points, but I liked particularly the couple feeds when you drive baseline and lay it off, and Mark's standing there. That's kind of nice.
It's easy to hit him when you've got a 6'10" guy standing right on each basket, and they converge on you driving.
Well, you see it really well, too. Bill, the other person we're going to talk to is Chad Wires, who has a completely different situation. Chad being a role ball player on this team and not a starter. What do you do in a game like this to get ready, like a game for Burlington, and you know you've beat them twice, and you've been in both games, and you scored against them in both games. How do you get ready personally for a game like this?
Well, personally, how I get ready is I really start to prepare right as the game starts. Usually I go in for Ryan Keys, and I guard his guy, and I look and see what that guy's doing, and I try to consider that, when I go into play for him.
A defensive type of aim for you then, as you come in and maybe try and shut down somebody that might be hot for the other team.
Yeah, that's basically my role on this team this year, and it was also last year. If I score, Coach Frazier says that's just extra. I'm basically in there just to shut the good player down.
Difficult for you to adapt to something like that? I guess you say that you've been doing it for a couple of years, but still, everybody would like to play all 32 minutes if they could do it mentally and physically. But for you to come in and you have to step onto a treadmill that's going full blast, basically, when you come off the bench.
Yeah, it's kind of tough sometimes, but just a couple trips up and down the court, and I'm right into it, and it's really no trouble at all to adapt once I get in there.
And a couple trips to state tournaments do help out on these role things. Everybody seems a little bit happier. I know it's kind of a trade-off. You guys are playing 10, 12 people got in the ball game tonight. That's great to see, and it keeps everybody pretty happy. I really enjoy watching you guys play, and we're really looking forward. Now, they will, Scott, play Bellingham, will they not, coming up? If Bellingham wins tonight, they'll play the winner of the Bellingham-Monroe game.
Bellingham-Monroe winner will go ahead and play the Mount Vernon Bulldogs Friday night in a game that's set to get underway at 8 o'clock. And the Cedar Woolley Lake Stevens winner faces Seaholm Shorecrest winner. And the last word looked like Cedar Woolley was going to be the winner. And we'll check back in with Dan Bartolovic momentarily on KAPS AM 660 Mount Vernon. Sitting here with a fairly nearly empty Mount Vernon Gymnasium tonight with just a couple of Bulldog players left over. And back for a final question to Bill Cornelius here this evening. Bill, third time into the district tournament as a full-time player for Mount Vernon, and I asked your coach this tonight as far as how he looks at it maybe differently as he comes in this season. Last year he had a group of youngsters, wasn't sure if they were tough enough to go through the test of a district and state tournament, and you certainly were. Now you come in with a different viewpoint.
I think it's a little different when we're on top and all the other teams are trying to beat us. This will make their season. If they beat us coming in a district tournament, they go on to the state and knock us out. It makes it a lot tougher than years past where we've been the underdogs. We've come in and had to shut down the other team in order to go to state.
Something to protect? Is that maybe, do you have I know that I just got done with wrestling, and they talked about Julian Reynoso, one of your classmates who had a perfect record going into the state tournament, protecting that record.
The only thing you can do is lose. Once you're on top, you can only go down. So most of the teams just come out, give their best every game when they play us, and makes it a lot tougher.
Make it a little more fun to play?
Yeah, it does.
It keeps the challenge there every time you step on the floor.
Yep.
Well, Bill Cornelius, any questions, Fred, for a final?
No, I'm going to let these guys go. They got a couple pretty girls probably waiting for them.
It's school night, right? They're going home.
6 or 8 of them. Well, it's early yet. It's 9 o'clock. So good job, you guys, and good luck to you Friday in another big game. They're all big.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Chad Wires and Bill Cornelius, thanks for joining us here on the post-game show from Mount Vernon High School. Again, the final score here tonight, 83-52. Bulldogs with the victory over Burlington Edison. The Tigers remain alive, and they will play next Tuesday night. Mount Vernon advances in the winner's bracket to play this Friday evening. All of the games from now on will be played at Marysville Pilchuck High School. Let's check back in now at Cedar Woolley High School.